Before he became a hero, One Punch had been quietly going under the radar, fighting monsters left and right. No matter the level of monster threat he took down, Saitama never received any of that credit. He's truly the hero you deserve. The funny part about all his kills is who was getting his credit for them. Meet King. King is publicly known as the strongest man on Earth. He's ranked 6 from S-Class. So, how exactly is King connected to One Punch? Back in the day, King happened to be in the same place where Saitama had just defeated some strong demon level threats. This happened 5 times. At that time, Saitama was an unregistered hero, so the Hero Association assumed that this was all of King's work. After this happened the 5th time, the Hero Association automatically put King into S-Class. His name wasn't even King, they gave him that name. King just decided to go along with it, since those S-Class fat checks are just too sweet. Let me take a moment to go back in time with you, back before the One Punch legend was born. You see Saitama's origins in episode 1. Saitama had his full head of hair, he was suited up, and looking for a job. Anyway, as you know, this encounter with that crab is ultimately what started everything. You know how amazing he turned out. But there is something else worth noting about this event. Before Saitama set out on the path to becoming a hero, he was already pretty damn strong. That crab monster he single-handedly defeated, easily by the way, was a tiger level threat. Usually, the Hero Association has to assign one A-class hero to handle tiger level monsters. But right here in this first episode, Saitama, without any training, was able to destroy that piece of crap monster. You could just imagine the limits of his powers post-training. Since we're on the topic of monster threats, let me tell you about them more in detail, and also the protocol assigned to them. In total, there's 5 different levels for monster threats. You can see 4 of these classifications in the One Punch Man opening. From weakest to strongest, they are Tiger, Demon, Dragon, and God level. Yes, God freaking level. Let's hope that a God level threat never shows up. It might be too powerful for even Saitama. But anyway, do notice something. One threat level is not shown in the anime. That's Wolf level. It refers to a weak monster, or just some type of group that could pose a threat. So think of something that the defenders could handle. For all of these various threats, the Hero Association has a protocol for how to deal with each one of them. For a Wolf level threat, either 1 B-class hero or 3 C-class heroes are sent out. That might be overkill. For Tiger, either 1 A-class or 5 B-class heroes are dispatched. Here, notice it again, Saitama pre-3-year training was at least this strong. For a Demon level threat, this requires 10 A-class heroes. Maybe they could handle it. But honestly, it's just better to send out the big guns, with 1 S-class hero. Anyway, that's it. You might be thinking, what about the God Disaster level? Well, about that one. That one hasn't come up yet, so no written protocol from the Hero Association. Now for the voice actor behind the most powerful man. Saitama is voiced by Makoto Furukawa in the Japanese version. His role in the One Punch anime is by far his most notable role, but you may be familiar with these other ones. Gustav from 7 Deadly Sins, Hiroto from Orange, and Kin Daichi from Haikyuu. This time around, you get to know the English voice too. Max Middleman is a voice for One Punch in the English dub. He's got a few standout roles too. He's been Ritsu, aka Mob's brother from Mob Psycho, King from 7 Deadly Sins, Kose from Your Lie in April, and lastly, Konohamaru from the Boruto movie. How many of these roles did you know already? So about the infamous Hero Association in the One Punch Man universe. It was originally formed to fight off all these different types of dangerous monsters. They claim to fight for the public good. The Hero Association is privately funded, so naturally, its own agenda is top priority. There have been cases of shady stuff from within. You could decide if you still like them after hearing about this. To start off, the Hero Association and police don't exactly get along. It turns out that a good chunk of the police is actually made up of people who failed the hero exam, so there's already tension there. There was specifically a case where the police department got attacked by a monster. The police had no choice but to call for backup. At that time, the higher-ups in the Hero Association hesitated. They briefly thought that this might have been a way to get rid of interference from the government. In the end, they did decide to help them, but before that, they leaked to the media that the police had asked them for help. Anyway, there is a happy ending. Luckily, Saitama happened to be at the police station, so the police got the credit. Second, since the Hero Association is privately funded, they do have to answer to their wealthy benefactors. There's also been times where Hero Association executives have used their positions to bribe people. For example, like telling girls that they could meet up with top heroes in exchange for favors. And finally, this one is interesting. The Hero Association actually keeps various different monsters from different level threats within their organization underground. You might be thinking, they could be researching them to get more information on how to better fight them. And I would agree, except you do see a case where one monster was being kept alive, just so they could sell its scales. These scales sold for a ton of money, and luckily for them, they grew back quickly. After this thing happened to escape, they told a lot of heroes to get it back for research. Unfortunately, Saitama accidentally smashed it. So, do you think this Hero Association is all it's cracked up to be? In the One Punch anime, you constantly see all these random monsters attacking. All of these increasing monster attacks have not exactly been random. There does exist this monster association in their world. This monster association has 70 members just like the Hero Association. All of their members are at dragon level. This reminds me a lot of Bleach. The fun part about this is that their hideout is very close by. It's located right in Z City, right next to Saitama's home. Yeah, someone's in for a big surprise. Talking about monsters, I did mention all the various disaster levels earlier. Notably, the one that's a big question mark is that God level threat. A God disaster is supposed to be something that is a threat to all humanity. So far, no monster that has appeared has been classified as being on God level. This is true for the anime and the manga. The original webcomic for One Punch got very close. This disastrous being that appeared said that it was at God level. But was it really? It's pretty debatable since it was self-proclaimed. If a God level did happen to appear and Saitama was not around, what would the Hero Association even do? I don't think that even all the S-Class heroes combined would be enough. This is where they would bring out their trump card, and that is number 1 hero Blast. So about the top hero, S-Class number 1, Blast. I mentioned earlier how Blast is a secret weapon for the Hero Association. Unfortunately, no one knows anything about Blast. There's a huge mystery surrounding this character. Who exactly is Blast? How powerful is he? Does he even exist? If you're going by the anime or manga, there's almost nothing on Blast. Almost everything you do see about him comes from the webcomic. Blast is supposed to be stronger than all S-Class heroes combined. The funny part about this is that none of the S-Class heroes have even seen him, except for one. Even the higher up executives in the Hero Association only know him by his name. The only time you get a glimpse of him is from a flashback from Tatsumaki. She's the only one that has ever met him. Blast is said to only appear once there is a God level threat. Anyway, feel free to come up with your own theories about Blast. I definitely got my own. Perhaps I should even make a video completely on Blast. What do you think? Have you ever wondered how Saitama would do up against your favorite Dragon Ball characters? Thankfully, you're in luck. You get a chance to see a glimpse of this in a spin-off Dragon Ball vs. One Punch crossover manga short. Right here you can see a battle between Saitama versus Vegeta. I'm not gonna spoil it, you could go ahead and look for it online. This has thankfully been translated by a fan. Oh, and just keep in mind by the way, this is totally unofficial. You've seen Saitama and his godlike power. Every single enemy he goes up against is taken out in one punch. So how did Saitama get so strong in the first place? According to him, it's due to his super intensive 3-year training session. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and 10 kilometers every single day. It turns out that there's a little bit more to it than that. A certain doctor figured out Saitama's secret. Through those intensive years of training every single day, Saitama was actually able to remove his limiter. Yes, you heard that right. This limiter being set by whatever divine being you believe in. Any possible theoretic limits, all broken and removed by him. This should mean that One Punch Man has unlimited power. So in theory, doesn't this make One Punch the strongest anime character? Saitama is often compared to a lot of characters in Dragon Ball, notably Dragon Ball Super. I wonder how these fights would turn out. So what do you think? Is Saitama the strongest character? Who would win in an all-out brawl between, say, a very serious One Punch versus Goku's Super Saiyan Blue? Thanks for watching, be sure to one punch that thumbs up and subscribe button. I am looking at your suggestions for future videos, so post whichever character or anime series you want to see next week. If you like this video, you'll definitely also like the one on the Demon Cyborg Genos. So go check that out or check part 1 and I'll see you guys later.